Hello and welcome. I'm a final year uni student and a passionate birder. I'm currently in the middle of my finals and I've decided to take a break from revision, and what better way to do that than bird watching? But with a student budget and no car, where could I go? Join me as I try to see how many species I can see while birding on a budget. Leighton Moss is the biggest reed bed in the northwest of England. It is home to many great species. Its specialties include bearded tits, bitterns and Marsh Harriers, although the first two are very hard to see and I'm yet to see one here. And most importantly for me, it is right next to the train station. Today I decided to start at their Saltmarsh hide, as I thought I'd seen a great white egret out the train window. Those two hides are about a half an hour walk from the actual reserve and are located here. Our first bird of the day was a carrion crow, followed very quickly by a noisy sedge warbler singing at the top of the trees. I was also lucky enough to see pied wagtail, swallow and a wood pigeon, but unfortunately was unable to get footage of them. The next two birds came just down the path on the sedge warbler, as I saw both blue and great tits, although I only caught the latter on camera. It was a great day for sedge warblers, as I saw yet another, joined by an off-camera chiff-chaff which you can hear in this clip. I walked past the Allen hide today as I had limited time and I prefer the sightings from the other hide, although I would recommend going in if you have the chance. I also heard grasshopper warblers and Chetty's warblers, although in an experience I'm sure every birder understands, I wasn't lucky enough to see them. And now I've made it to the Egret Morecambe hide. Overlooking both pools, it always offers some great sightings. And it did not disappoint. It may not have been the great white, but it is always good to see a little egret. Even more exciting than that, we have Spoonbill. This was an incredible sighting as it's the first time I've seen them in nearly 7 years. And if you look closely, they are joined by a pair of eiders at the far left of the screen. This was the first time I've ever seen a wild eider. I do apologise for the quality of the videos. Unfortunately, I am only able to film on my phone through binoculars, so the footage can be quite shaky. I am working on it though. Also swimming around them as usual are shelduck. As I was filming the shelduck, something unexpected happened. A great white egret flew over them. I am always surprised by how big they actually are. Unfortunately, it decided to land in an area that was very hard to see. And here is a slightly better view of the eider. And the first Marsh Harrier of the day decided to show up, giving quite a scare to some jackdaw. A pair of oystercatcher decided to do the very kind thing and hang out right in front of the hide to become bird number 17. About 10 black-tailed godwit then flew down and sat in the water in front of me for a while, with some avocet in the background to take in our count to 20. This great black-backed gull is definitely enjoying the sun. An off-camera lesser black-backed gull helps to get us to 23 birds. As normal, there are a complete abundance of black-headed gulls. They do enjoy sitting on this island. They are joined by a few mute swans. And what was really exciting for me was I got to see a whimbrel for the first time. I couldn't decide whether this was a whimbrel or a curlew, but one of the great things about birding is there's always someone around to help you with the idea. In the main reserve now, and a wren is rather rudely keeping its back to me. I also got a glimpse of a reed warbler, but it was too quick to film. After the advice I received from a very helpful volunteer, I decided to go to the Grisdale hide first, as apparently there are quite a few Bittern sightings there. As it always goes with birding, everyone else saw a hobby twice, but unfortunately I wasn't able to see it. Not long after missing the hobby, something very exciting happened. 2 bittern flew from within the reed. I've never seen a bittern here before, and the only other time I have seen one was back in 2018, as it was standing up inside the reeds. Seeing them in flight was incredible. Less than a minute after the bitting sighting, I finally got lucky with the hobby. Naturally, I found myself in a very excited hide, as everyone witnessed 2 great sightings in such quick succession. What you'll soon see is very common for this trip. There were a lot of swifts. I didn't have long, so I moved on to the Tim Jackson hide. This was a much quieter one with fewer people in it, but also fewer birds. I was greeted to a very similar sighting of a pair of oyster catchers to one I got earlier. These 2 magpies give me the joy of becoming bird number 36 for the day. I was fortunate enough to see a family of grey lag geese as the parents are joined by a single gosling. Next was a sighting that's always interesting, a crow mobbing a buzzard. You'll see crows and other corvids doing this to birds of prey a lot. They do this to defend their nests, chicks and feeding territory. Just before this, I got a 1-second glimpse of a bearded tit, but before I could get my camera ready, it had already gone back into the reeds. Apologies for the black mark at the side of the screen, that sometimes happens when filming through binoculars. It doesn't take away from seeing a family of mute swans with 4 cygnets though. Straight away I'm greeted by both tufted ducks and pochards. Great sighting of a mute swan swimming with its wings up, which is a territorial and defensive display known as busking. Our 43rd bird is a coot looking after its chick. There's still a large number of swifts flying around, this time joined by a lone house martin. I'd be impressed if you spotted it the first time round. One of my favourite water birds is up next, the great crested grebe. Somehow, I think this is the first time I've ever seen a tufted duck in flight. They didn't look at all how I expected. After I left the hide, I saw a large group of people looking into the trees and taking photos. It's always very exciting when you see this, as you know there's something very special to get all of their attention, and special it was, as they pointed out a tawny owlet asleep on a branch. I've never been very lucky when it comes to seeing owls, as it's not been a common occurrence for me, but this incredible sighting has more than made up for that. Not far down the path from the owlet, I ran into my first pheasant of the day, a female. Accompanying her is the song of the Chetty's warbler, taunting me as I was still unable to see it. The final hide is probably my favourite, the lower hide. Normally I would start here and go backwards, as there are often great sightings from here, but after speaking to the volunteer today, I decided to do it in reverse. Pretty quiet day today compared to other visits, but I still got the usual buzzard in the distance and got this blurry video of it. Despite it being a day of mainly swifts, this time they were joined by a large number of house martins. I was positioned perfectly to get a very exciting viewing. A female Marsh Harrier getting mobbed by black-headed gulls. These determined gulls wouldn't leave her alone. Gulls attack birds of prey for the same reason as crows, and I can understand it. While raising young, the last thing you want is a predator around, both eating the food you might need and being a threat to your own chicks. As I was heading back home, much earlier than I would have liked, the owlet had moved slightly and was now facing away, probably fed up of having loads of people staring at it while it was sleeping. Normally Leighton Moss is full of robins, but it took until my walk back to see my first and only robin of the day. I found this very strange. Yet another warbler decided to mock me by singing loudly out of sight. A reed warbler was giving a amazing song from thick within the reeds as normal. Walking along the causeway, I had the pleasure of being very close to a family of Canada geese. These two parents were joined by 4 very sweet gosling. Parents did start to look like they were being unsettled by the group of people though, so I decided to move on and leave them to it. And we've made it to 50 birds, a goldfinch treating us very nicely to its song. Overall, a great day as always in Leighton Moss, plenty of birds to see and some high quality sightings out there, even if I struggle to film it at times. So to round up, 3 miles travelled over 271 minutes and 50 species seen. I've tried to estimate the number of each bird I've seen in a way that avoids double counting, so these estimates may be a little bit low. And that brings us to the end of a great day. If you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe as I'd like to make more videos like this.